Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Florida Tech Esports channel. Today, we're bringing you League of Legends versus uh Florida
Gulf Coast.
Florida Gulf Coast. Yeah, and I'm here with.
Hi, my name is Juan, and I'll be with Tony.
All right, so let's get into this draft right now. So first, we see a ban from Schmolder, Viego, and Hue from Florida Gulf Coast. All
In
of which Schmolder is definitely a problem. Can be a problem late game, but early game, from what I've seen, Schmolder can get shut down really easily.
Absolutely, absolutely. But there's been a bit of a change in the build of Smolder
Yes.
when you start in Doran's Ring,
Mm-hmm.
and you also build. You also, I think, put 2 or 3 points in your W instead of your
Mm-hmm.
Q.
Mm-hmm.
That way, you can poke with the magic damage, the damage that Doran's Ring provide, and W has a very good AP scaling. That's a way that Smolder can kind of like survive the early game. But the main issue with this build is that it doesn't scale as well as other builds.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not gonna be that hyper carry, basically melting everyone. You are gonna deal damage, but again, that lack of a rune that it's basically fits your whole kit is not there. And we see a first pick Aphelios, which is interesting. I haven't seen that much Aphelios lately, especially in solo queue. I have seen it a bit improperly, but it's because Aphelios is always on a relatively good state if they know how to play it, and if you
Mm-hmm.
play with a support that can peel. But in solo duo, it's really hard to see an Aphelios, and we're probably gonna see that Maokai going with that Aphelios, trying to like poke as much as you can, and like then Aphelios using all his like kit and all his abilities to try to like take this Seri off, which interesting against Seri. Very good champ, very good champ if you know how to play it, and hopefully, Florida Tech plays it to perfection because we see Hecarim. That's an interesting one. Tony, what's your opinion on Hecarim?
I actually haven't seen a lot of Hecrims like recently, but I do know Hecarim's always a solid champion when it comes to healing, supporting the team with the fears, and honestly does a good amount of damage. So I want to see it. I know Jarvan, right now is really good. Recently we've seen a lot of Jarvan's jungles, and I'm very surprised about the Zeri pick as well.
I am surprised about the Seri pick, but now that we see Lulu, I'm not
Oh
that
yeah,
surprised
yeah.
because Lulu Seri is
Hmm.
very good, especially in the late game. You wanna use this Seri to like kind of like catapult or snowball and catapult your advantages in lane that you're gonna try to get, especially with an Aphelios Maokai, which I suppose it's the combo in the bot lane. Um, but it's gonna be interesting because whoever wins bot lane is gonna have more of an advantage in terms of poking and in terms of snowballing. I would like to see, hear me out, a Nocturne in the top lane.
Hmm.
Heka Nocturne, Shen Nocturne, very good combos. Maybe Oriana in the mid lane. If Flora Tech bans Oriana, which they didn't, it would be a very good counter option to this Hecarim that can just get in. Maokai can lock everyone in with the ult. Also, he has that ability to go untargetable and then like stun someone. And the saplings, which are very annoying with their placed in bushes. So it's gonna be very interesting and weird that the Florida Gulf Coast banned their own Oriana, considering that in their composition, Hecarim and Oriana and maybe a Nocturne in top lane would be like absolutely a banger.
Hmm.
They have so much, they would have been so good team fights.
Well, the Oriana from Florida Tech also would have been massive with the Jarvan and the Zeri like control
Absolutely,
that they have. So,
exactly. That's
and
that.
we already know they picked Orin, so it's already
It's already like Ornn Jarvan. It's gonna be a very good
exactly
lockup composition, very engage heavy, team fight heavy. Let's see what Florida Gulf Coast picks right now. Hmm.
Gragas.
Gragas. interesting. Probably going to that top lane.
I think so.
I haven't seen that much Gragas mid lately. I know it's a very much flex everywhere pick. You can play support, you can play like mid lane, you can play jungle, you can play top lane. Gragas is a very good in a very good state. The items that this season has provided us also allow us to do some wild things. And look at that,
Cassidon.
Kassadin.
You was talking about the items, and that honestly is a champion that really, really helps with the new malignance and all those items.
Absolutely, especially Malignance. Let's remember, Malignance has that pull every time you deal damage while on ultimate. It doesn't have a cooldown. Doesn't have a cooldown. At least until last patch, it didn't have a cooldown. I don't think they changed
It
that.
does not have a cooldown,
It
and
does
it
not have
also
a cooldown.
lowers your ultimate cooldown.
Exactly.
So
It gives you 20
yeah,
ability haste.
exactly.
20 ability haste on the ult. And look at that, an echo. Interesting.
I mean, Echo is able to do some damage in this group, like you just said, is very a group up, heavy comp. I do see Echo being able to pull something from his Qs, from his ultimate. If he can get like a really good ultimate going, I think that would absolutely change the team fight.
That would be an absolutely game changer to that team fight. A bit surprised on the picks from both sides, to be honest. But I'm not surprised about the bans, especially Smolder and Hui. Hui is in a very good state. Is very much a heavy poke champion, but at the same time, it has so much scaling. It has so much scaling with the passive.
On our fears.
And honestly, Maokai is just as poke heavy. I mean, Maokai right now feels overtuned in the sports area right now, at least, because it's a lot of CC. It's a lot of CC. It's a lot of damage, a lot of poke early game, especially when you put like the little Maokai saplings in the bushes. It's a lot of damage and
It is gonna be a lot of damage
in laning phase.
It is gonna be a lot of damage in laning phase, and for it's gonna be very annoying for this Jarvan to get even close to the bot lane. We have one bush right before the entrance to the bot lane. You have the tree bush, the tri bush in I think it's blue side, and then you have that new tri bush in red side. So if this Maokai just basically puts all the saplings covering those sides, it's gonna be very annoying for this Jarvan to like get into lane. We were probably gonna see some like in lane ganking like from lane directly. But it's gonna be a funny one. It's gonna be a funny one, definitely.
As you wish.
We overall have a lot of CC from Florida Tech, and well, not as much from, or not Florida Tech. We do have a lot of CC from
Florida Gulf Coast.
Florida Gulf Coast, yeah, but not that much from Florida Tech. I accidentally switched them in my head, but yeah, we got a lot of CC, we got a lot of lockups. I do know Florida Tech is probably mad because I know that their ADC does play Aphelios a lot, and Florida Gulf Coast did take that Aphelios, but the Zeri Lulu pick I can see also going really well for them.
The Seri Lulu is a very like brave bot lane, I think.
Exactly.
While they have a lot of scaling and they have a lot of chances of doing that much, it depends very much on how the player plays Seri. Lulu just have to shield, give movement speed, and probably like use R. But Seri has to kite so much, and kiting with Seri's auto attack mechanic of hitting Q, it tires the finger. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. I tried playing some Seri games in solo queue, and it's complicated. It's kind of hard. It reaches a point where it's kind of annoying. Keep pressing Q, especially when you have all that attack speed. Especially if we see this Seri that is probably most likely gonna go something like lethal tempo or even conquer sometimes. So now we're gonna wait and see which one are the runes that we're gonna jump right in. 2 seconds, 1 second, and
we also have the 3-minute delay. So
yeah, that 3 minute delay. Well, now another thing. How do you think this Kassadin is gonna be paired against Echo?
Well, both of them have the ability to one shot potentially. So it pretty much just depends on who can farm up the most, who can get kills. From my experience, Kassadin has a little bit more mobility to like move around the map than Echo does. So we'll probably see Kassadin gank bot a couple times, maybe top lane a couple times, but I don't really see top lane that much unless something happens with this Orin versus Gragas where like somebody's overextending or something like that, where it does make sense for Kassadin to push up. But overall, I mean, I low key think Kassadin wins versus Echo.
I think in the long run, Kazan is obviously gonna win because, again,
with the malignants,
it's a Kassadin.
With
he
the
has
new items
malignants.
that are out,
You have the Storm Surge. You're gonna see a Kassadin probably building that Road of Ages, or Archangel Staff for the extra mana,
Yeah.
and all those items. And then at the end, probably we're gonna be seeing even like what's the name, Reverence. So these are gonna be a very heavy sided AP like matchup. On the other side,
Gragas too. It depends on how because Gragas can build either full AP or can build a little bit more.
Exactly, a little bit more tanky.
Exactly.
Just to survive the team fights, because Maokai is not gonna be very much a true tank. Hecarim is gonna probably build a bruiser leading towards lethality build. So Gragas has to a little bit take that responsibility, in my opinion, especially because you have people that can basically one-shot everyone if they are like, if you are caught up in the middle of the fight. Echo ultimate deals a ton of damage plus the 3-stack passive. If you get under Jarvan's ultimate and you get an Ornn R, that's it for you. And your data failures with absolutely no mobility, absolutely no way to peel if your support has already like wasted all the CDs.
But we're not going to see that much from Maokai. I mean, Maokai has so much CC and a lot of peel ability that Aphelios shouldn't really get caught up like that.
Absolutely, Aphelios should be able to like run around, try to get a distance between them. Choices in the weapons that Aphelios is using is going to be very, very important for team fights. We know that the combo, the red and white combo, is probably best for team fights. You get caught up with something different. It's gonna be very, very hard for these Aphelios to get even close. Seri, on the other hand, pop the ult. You basically have an infinite ult if you keep hitting, and
the problem is because you stay in.
Exactly.
With this Kassadin, I don't know if she'll be able to
I don't know if
stay in.
she'll be able to stay in. Both of them have a lot of mobility, and I know that as soon as Kassadin hits level 16, it's done. It's gonna be very, very hard for Floratech to win this, especially if the Kassadin knows how to move around the map. And we just jump into the game. Let's see those runes. Yeah, so yeah, Series taking lethal tempo. We see a very aggressive rune for Fungus Dungus with electrocute in the middle. On the other hand, White Connor from Florida Gulf Coast in that Kassadin taking the first strike. Honestly, it makes so much difference taking the first strike and not taking that first strike, just because how much money you can get at the end. Reset going very basic runes, and this is what we're talking about. That Gragas. Look at Gragas runes. Grasp of the Dying.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna get a little bit tanky. Everybody's starting like interesting. Reset trying to get some information on where like the opposite jungler started. I don't think he's gonna get anything.
But with that, this
what is this Hecarim? Yeah, what's this Hecarim in the middle?
Yeah,
what is this Hecarim doing in the mid lane? And the Siri and the Lulu just covering bot lane to see if there's no invade from the side of Maokai. But yeah, to be honest, Hecarim can start like chickens. The raptors and like basically do it for free. Ooh, but we're gonna contest from Echo. Probably just laying a ward just to get some information later on how the route goes. Ooh, and there's already a skirmish in the bot lane. And Seri has to like spend her only pod.
That was a lot of damage for the Maokai.
That was a lot of damage.
But Maokai does have healing.
Ooh, and look at this level 2 gun.
Yeah, level 2. Had to get that flash from Kassadin. And this is that Maokai healing I was talking about.
That is the Maokai healing, absolutely, and we get
And their
first
first
blood
blood.
for the side of Florida Gulf Coast in Aphelios, and look at Desha Prince trying to get a 1-for-1, but he's not able. And ooh, you're playing with fire.
But honestly, Lulu, from what I've seen, Lulu is able to do that. Is able to
Absolutely.
get a little bit of poke in because of her passive and her shielding that she has, and she honestly hasn't taken that much damage. She has Guardian, but I don't know if that Guardian procced last fight.
He did proc. He did proc
did.
at the beginning of the fight. He did proc at the beginning of the fight. Ooh, but look at that.
Look at this Lulu
Look at this.
overextend, but like I said, that shield is really
The shield is
really massive.
massive. The shield is massive, but now she gets poked down almost to backing distance, and Gale doing everything, but Creamy with the Gragas.
Now Gragas' passive is that every time he uses an ability. Oh, and here we have a gank from Fungus, Dungus, and Jungle for bot. I'd be pretty mad if I was that bot lane.
Absolutely, you're winning, and then like you get basically almost over by the mid lane, the opposite mid laner Jungle, and look at this
Oh my
solo
gosh.
kill on Gale. Creamy doing wonders with that Gragas, knowing how to cancel a Gale's W. Yeah. And Fungus Dungus winning the matchup, to be fair. Like, he was able to rotate. Get that flash out of the Kassadin. Kassadin without level 6, he doesn't have the ability to play that aggressive. Especially because no flash, no 6, and Fungus Dungus still having that flash and that electrocute. So, Fungus Dungus can poke very, very easy. Like, push lanes and move around.
Yeah, I did see that this Kassadin also has a mana flow. Oh, what's the one rune where you get a magic shield at a certain amount? Oh, and then we have another gank from Reset.
Another gank, and Af this time gets the kill on Aphelios. Let's remember, Af is an Aphelios player. We do see him playing a lot of Aphelios most of the time, but this time he was forced to play Seri. But he looks like he feels comfortable with the champ. Doing a lot of damage. Oh, I miss the old Seri. I do miss the old Seri. When her passive was able
Used
to
to steal shields.
Yeah, steal shields. It was too OP. It was too OP. I do agree.
I don't think it was that OP. I think maybe if they just cut down the amount of shield that's like she stole. What, it was a 40%, I think.
I think it was a 4%, yeah.
I really don't. I mean, I do know right now we are in like the shielding meta, where like champions that shield, or like shields in general is way better than like overall healing.
Absolutely.
Because shields get buffed a lot more from what is it, mana flow band?
Yes.
Yeah, than healing does. So, and overall,
look at this cancel.
yeah. Oh, he tried though. He tried getting the knock up.
And Creamy basically almost. Ooh, but look at Fungus Dungus doing so much damage in this Hecarim, but Hecarim knows that all his people are gonna rotate around.
And here we have Reset getting the Void Grubs. I honestly think Void Grubs are really broken right now.
They are extremely broken. The ability that they give you of dealing true damage to towers is very, very good, especially with the meta of having tower plates. Even though tower plates don't give you that much gold anymore, but it's still 175.
It's still gold. Gold is gold.
Gold is
Money
gold.
is money.
Exactly, money is money. Oof, look at this cancel, and Gale very, very close to death.
Barely making it.
Barely making it alive. Oh, and look at that, Maokai doesn't know that there's a ward in there, so he's trying to poke, but at the same time, he's getting poked to death. And Reset almost getting that kill in the top lane, allowing Gale to stay. Interesting.
It was kind of sad that like he didn't get the the kill there.
Absolutely.
Honestly, that was needed. Honestly, with Gragas, I didn't think about this, but Gragas having Grasp on top of the healing that he gets from his passive every time he uses an ability makes up for a lot of healing, a lot, and that means a lot. You have to do a lot of damage in order to kill him. So much so that I don't even really think that Gale even has that much damage in his kit.
Hey, but never count Ornn out of the equation. Let's remember, Ornn is basically that magic basically almost hyper carry that everybody.
Oh,
chokes
most
around.
definitely, yeah.
Like you don't know when you're playing against an Ornn, he's able to deal all this damage with the passive plus all his abilities, and everything applies passive basically, with the exception of Q, if I'm not wrong. And the knockups that he has, it's kind of wild.
And here we see it.
Like, look at that. That's a combo for a champ that is only tank. It's very interesting how Ornn works. Especially his passive, the brittle, I think it's called.
Yes.
The ability that it has of just ignoring most of your resistances and dealing so much magic damage. It's it's a little bit funny to put in a tank. I would expect that, I don't know, Syndra or something like that, but we have it in a tank, and like.
Well, he also gets bonus. Is it double or is it just a bonus? I think he gets
It's a
bonus.
bonus. It's a bonus
Okay,
percentage.
it's a bonus percentage of both armor and magic resist, making him one of the most tankiest champions that could be in this game.
And at the end, let's remember, Ornn is gonna be able to give some ornaments. So
Those bonus items,
those
or
bonus
not bonus
items.
but
No,
yeah.
technically it's a bonus item because
Yeah,
it
yeah.
gives you so much
Yeah.
utility.
Oh, you see now that there's also a I don't know if that's in what we're playing right now, but there's also a patch where if you upgrade Rod, you can buy another Rod.
Ooh, interesting, because
Yes.
it's not the same unique. Interesting. That would be interesting to see, especially because we have an Echo. And are you talking about Road of Ages?
Yes.
Yes. So we have an Echo.
And then it'll give you stats for both, like
Exactly.
the upgrades for both.
So it would be interesting to see if they try to do that. But from what I think, I don't believe they're
I don't
probably gonna
think
do that,
so, yeah.
because Echo is more of like a heavy AP damage, and Rod is more
Completely ignoring the Lulu.
completely ignoring the Lulu.
The Lulu honestly did have more survivability, and the Lulu Flash
Lulu
ultimate
flashes to get
saves
ultimate.
her. That's a support. That's the true support right,
That
energy.
is the true support, and not only that, that wouldn't have happened if he didn't ignore the Lulu. Maybe they would have gotten the kill on the Lulu. Aphelios was closer to Lulu than like anything, and the push that Hecarim would have given, it would have been enough to get that gap close.
But I don't know. It looked like they just were too afraid of the Lulu shields in Ultimate that when they immediately saw that Lulu was away, they thought that they could immediately kill Zeri. But from what it seemed, that Lulu was there, was the hero.
Absolutely, that Flash ultimate and all the shields. that
Flash
Lulu
ultimate
gives you.
shield, yeah. And here we have Ornn trying to escape for his life under his turret.
Which is not doing, Ornn for the matchup is not doing that bad, taking into consideration that it's only 5 CS down. And he just got his back. And we're probably gonna see that broken tank item, Canic Rottern. I think it's called.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
That shield that it gives you, especially for magic heavy champs, which we are gonna see most likely, because let's remember, this Maokai is very damage heavy, and look at that, Fungus Dungus caught in the middle.
And this is where Kassadin is level 9. Or past level 6.
Yeah.
So we see a lot of damage coming from his ultimate, a lot of sustain, a lot of like, well, not sustain, but a lot of.
Ooh, but look at the
ability to
damage
do
coming
damage.
from that Lulu and Alf.
And there's that Guardian proc. Not even taking a turret shot. And then we have Reset coming in to get the kill.
Nothing you
Going
can do
get
as
up.
an Aphelios if you already flashed.
Yeah.
You are not playing with. We are not playing with a Thresh, so you don't have that lantern to like save you. And right now we're probably gonna see this tower in the bot lane.
There's the power of the Void Grubs. I mean, it makes you do true damage to turrets. There's not much you can really do.
Turret has been destroyed.
And right now, comps are probably gonna try to snowball. We see that Florida Tech has more gold right now, so probably Florida Golf Focus is not gonna try to contest this Drake. Right now, what Florida Golf Coast needs to do is try to get as much of a gap close in advantage as possible, to prevent Florida Tech from snowballing that much. And play for that late game. We have an Aphelios on that side. We have a Kassadin, very late, like late 3-4 items kind of champs. So as soon as we get that in the side of Florida Gulf Coast, it's gonna be very hard to Florida Tech if they don't have enough of a lead. We are seeing a very big CS advantage in the bot lane, and 10 CS advantage in the middle lane, which is not much, but at the same time, oh, but look at this team fight, 3v3. Florida Tech is doing, but look at all the shields that Lulu can give, and it's now a 2v2, and this area gets one.
And this is exactly what you was talking about with this area, able to stay into that fight, do as much damage as possible, stack up, get more CS, or not CS, get more attack speed, and just like roll from there. I mean, there's not much, especially when so Zeri's ult automatically has a static shiv inside of it. That when you combine static shiv, a lot of damage going to everybody.
Absolutely, a lot of damage. And not only that, but you have the lethal tempo. So not only your ult is gonna pass through other champs with that auto attack,
yes,
but also you're gonna get an extra range from lethal tempo
and the attack speed from lethal tempo as well.
And Gil missing that E into the Q, so he's not able to get the knockup on Creamy. Ooh, that auto attack
cancels, yeah.
Yeah, the auto attack cancels. Ooh, again, Creamy canceling all of Gale's abilities. He's basically, but again, he's missed so much, and at the same time, he's basically even with Creamy, dealing so much damage, even though like Creamy already has that Rod of Ages with that stag, and Gale only has a magic resist Bamis item. Ooh, and Creamy misses the body slam. But look at that, they tried to pick on Lulu again, but again, this Zeri having so much damage.
Now Zeri still does get like movement speed whenever she is shielded. They kept that part in Zeri's passive, so that movement speed also is really crazy combined on the movement speed that Lulu also gives whenever she E's somebody.
Absolutely. It's gonna be a fun matchup in the late game fights when we get these big team fights. Ooh, but we're gonna see a Norn ultimate. Oh, the polymorph, and Zeri just getting there to pick up the fight after doing an amazing job with this Zeri just roaming around, getting as much as they can. And look at that.
That was 2 ultimates coming from Florida Tech still.
2 ultimates coming from Florida Tech, yes, absolutely. Yeah. But they do get the extra prio in the top lane, and but at the same time, mid lane is probably gonna fall if this Zeri and this Lulu don't rotate back. But Lucas Fangadongo is probably getting caught alone again. Is he gonna be able to ult? He ulted, and he gets one! Is he gonna get the second one?
Oh, sad.
Barely doesn't manage to get the second one.
Honestly, really surprising that he got the first one as well.
Absolutely, I think a white counter and that casting push a little bit too hard into tower range. I don't think they
didn't really pay attention to the echo stun that he can place before everything happened.
And then at the end of the day, Fungus Dungus gets a 1-for-1 for basically doing an amazing job in this middle lane. Even though this Kassadin is not as ahead as everybody wants him to be. Oh, but look at these guys. Look at these guys. Are they gonna pick on him? Right now, the next fight that we're probably gonna see, it's gonna be in the bot lane for this Drake, which is, if I'm not wrong, Mountain Drake, right? For Mountain Soul already.
No, not yet. There's only 2 Drakes that's been spawned, this Cloud and Ocean. There hasn't been any Mountain Drakes yet. So this would be the first Mountain Drake.
This will be the yeah. That's what I meant. Like the Rift already changed it, so it's gonna be Mountain Soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, Florida Tech basically laying down the wards, laying down some vision. Ooh, but look at that! Reset playing very, very deep into enemy territory. And for this fight, we're gonna see almost all ults from the side of Flora Tech, and all probably all ults from
All
the side
ults
of
back,
Flora
yeah.
Cosmos. Yeah. The only difference, Catherine does not have flash. He does have ultimate, but he does not have flash. And inside of Flora Tech, it's gonna be probably uncontested. It's gonna be uncontested. Flora Tech is snowballing extremely good. We saw a gold difference of like 1k, 2k turning into a 4k gold difference. Right now, they probably need to close the game as fast as possible, prevent this Catherine from scaling. It's already level 11, so cooldown, it's already way shorter than it was before. Damage is way higher, and we're probably gonna see right now Archangel stuff from that tier of the goddess, and that... Oof, and Gale smells out creamy. And it's a battle of tanks, it's a battle of tanks. But Kaiju joins the fight with this Hecarim, ghosts in. And Gale probably saved. Oof, almost saved by that Gragas ultimate. Push him in towards his own tower. And now Reset dropping that Herald in the mid lane. We're not gonna see a Herald riding.
Nobody's gonna ride it.
Nobody's gonna ride that Herald.
Or they might
ride it for later.
Might ride it now. No.
Nah, they didn't ride the Herald. But yeah, right now, Flora take a little bit getting together. They do need to start snowballing a little bit harder. They do need to play for this objective, so probably getting that in. Don't killing the Scuttle Crab in the top lane, waiting until it's at least minute 1930. So they can get vision when Baron spawns. You don't want them to do a like secret Baron, especially with this very fast Baron that Flora Golf Coast has with these Aphelios and Cassadin, plus Hecarim. But Flora Tech also has a very good and a very fast Baron. Right now, just...
I'm sure Reset's gonna be mad about this. Both their red and Craig's are stolen.
Interesting how Hecarim is still there.
Still, yeah, trying to take Krugs. Trying to make Reset as weak as possible.
Kaiju gets polymorph. And Af is on a rampage, playing this fight extremely well, and now Maokai is gonna get caught for trying to help his friend, and Dusha Prince manages to get the kill. And now what? Baron is spawning in 5 seconds. Froyatech can get this Baron extremely easy. There's no jungle, there's no support, nobody that can zone around. Creamy is running away, and now probably Aphelios is gonna get one-shotted. Oh, but look at the damage! Look at the damage of this Aphelios.
Still a lot of
damage. Very close. With he had the right guns. He had that white gun with a lot of shurikens. So he was able to chunk a lot of Fungus health extremely fast. Even though Fungus managed to get the kill, and Flora Golf Coast they don't just lay around. They managed to get 1/3 in the bot lane. And a lot of the
trying to get as much gold as possible.
Absolutely. They knew they could not contest the Baron, so they said, okay, we need to do something else. We need to change our priorities.
Get something.
Bounties are probably gonna go up soonish. So we're gonna see that. Now it's when we see that gold difference being like extremely affected, because we see this Seri with 2 items, we see this Jarvan with 2 items, this Ornn which is gonna have 2 items extremely soon, and most likely I think he's only missing like 950 if I'm not wrong, and most likely this Echo, which already had Rabatons, already had Lichbane, and he bought a Mercury Boots, which is a choice. Mercury Boots is extremely a choice. I wouldn't get them for just the resistance. It's more for the slow and tenacity that they give around. And while yeah, they have a very like what's the name? The Florida Gulf Coast do have a very much CC comp. It's not as much as Florida Tech, in my opinion.
Really?
Almost every player from Florida Tech has able to lay CC down. Is able to lay CC down. Even
I mean, Echo. I wouldn't say Echoes is 100% perfect because it's really situational.
Absolutely.
Echo CC, and definitely if players just play, you can play around it. You can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
But the thing is that the combo that Florida Tech has with this Jarvan and this
Oh
Echo,
yes, with yes.
like Jarvan throws ult, Echo throws the shield field thing to stun, and then you cannot run, especially if you're Aphelios and you have no flash. There's no other type of ability that you can use. At the same time, Ornn is there to lay so much CC. This Lulu that may not seem like that much if you are Hecarim and you are sprinting towards the enemy
you get
and
polymorph.
you get polymorphed. That's it for you. You're gone. Like all your health bar goes to shambles. And Seri may not have hard CC with this red buff and the ultimate. She's able to slow down enemies.
Really strong slow as
Yeah.
well. I mean, from when it comes to the CC from Florida Gulf Coast, a lot of their CC is hard CC.
Exactly, look at that.
Yeah, there's really nothing.
They
You
get
can really
Charmin
do.
ult, they get Ornn ult, and there's nothing they can do. And now Creamy enters the fight, and he's being picked, and there's nothing they can do. Af gets another one. And look at Fungus Dungus looking for those skills, destroying. And at this point, there's nothing Florida Gulf Coast they can do. Reset basically toying around with his food. And ooh, but we see a brave
Really
opening
strong
from
Hecarim
Hecarim.
ult.
Ooh, but look at that. They managed to get a kill on Cassidy, and now it's just Kaiju against the world. This Maokai trying to get as much time as possible, but he's not able. Very, very close for Af. Almost there. This turnaround extremely fast. It looked very, very good to Florida Tech, but then this Hecarim and this Cassidy dealt so much damage
Yes,
into the
both of
backline.
their ults.
So
did
much damage into the
damage.
backline.
They can easily get to the back line. That's the issue. Is that
Absolutely.
Hecarim's ult, Kassadin ult, easily can just get them to the back line in order to
Absolutely.
deal
And
with
this-
Lulu
and-
and Zeri.
And with this Hecarim with 24s and Soldier's Blade, so all the cooldowns are going to be extremely fast. And it's already a Hecarim that is 6-2. Yes, Kassadin may be only 0-2, but he already has 2 items and a Lost Chapter. This Lost Chapter is probably going to turn into Malignance, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, most likely.
But we're going to see some ornaments right now. We see the Rabadon ornament into Echo. Not the best choice, in my opinion, but at the same time...
Yes, for right
Very,
now, I
very
would have
strong.
upgraded Zeri for right now, but not much you can really
You have
do.
a 7-1 Seri.
Exactly.
With 3 items, and now Rune and Surgeon, so it's not like her auto attacks is gonna be able to hit like more people in the team fight. And with this Seri that basically shoots auto attacks to anywhere, like it's basically a skill shot for her. It's gonna be very easy for Av to just basically destroy the front line. Extremely easy, especially because look at that Gragas, not a single tank item. Look at that Hecarim. Barely any resistances. Maybe the Sterax with that extra shield, but not that much. And then at the end of the day, we have that Maokai, which yes is a little bit tanky, but it's not gonna be as effective against this Seri and this Echo, especially because it's pure armor. So this Echo is gonna melt that Maokai. And right now,
Kassadin goes in on this?
I don't think Kassadin wins. I'm not gonna lie to you. Or maybe 0-5, but Ornn is Ornn, and he's gonna be able
That
to tank
upgraded
so
adaptive
much.
helm.
That upgraded adaptive helm, and right now he's making himself some more items. We get Bramblebest. Interesting choice from the side of Ornn. I don't know how important right now is oh, but look at this engage from Reset. Are we gonna see the ult from Reset?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
And there it
and we
is.
see the ult. He was waiting for that ability. And right now, but look at Kassadin getting into the back lane. And now
And Maokai's able to get to the back
Maokai
line.
gets-
Oh
but
my
the
gosh, the Echo
destruction
ult.
from the Echo ult. And Floriatech get this fight almost unscathed, only losing Dusha Prince indeed is Lulu. It was a brave attempt from Kassadin, very good, dealing so much damage into the back lane. But I think he didn't have enough items. Again, this Kassadin does not work that much unless you are extremely fair, or
Yeah, did not have Malignant
it's
yet.
extremely late. Yeah, exactly. It's extremely late game. But look at that, and we get GG's for the Southern Florida Tech. Good game one. Very good game one from the side of Florida Tech. We saw a lot of dominance. Again, the bot lane. If the bot lane was able to like snowball so much, and they were able to get the win extremely easy, moving around to the lanes, getting that small advantages, and then like extending them. Very good.
It was very fun to watch. Well, we'll be right back in 5 to 10 minutes for game 2. See you there. Hello, guys. Welcome back. Uh, right now, or now, Florida Tech is going to be on the blue side, so on the left, and then FGCU is going to be on the red side. So then we see an insta ban for the Draven and the Schmolder, getting both two ADCs out of here. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Here you go. So anyway, back to what I was saying. We got an instant ban from Draven and the Smolder, and then we also see Illawai, Akshan, and Viego are out of here now. And the Zeri FGCU does not want to see that
I
again.
do not want to see that series again. That was a monster, to be honest. And to be fair, if Florida Tech played it to perfection, they played for the series, they managed to get a lot of advantages, and they basically won. It was extremely, extremely good. This Draven, interesting ban from the Draven. I haven't played too much against Draven, and look at that. First picking affiliates for the side of Florida Tech. I've been known to play these affiliates extremely, extremely well. So let's see what's the response for the Florida Gulf Coast. They may be able to lock a bot lane right now, if they want to. Especially because they know what they're playing against, and we see this Maokai again. Kind of good against the affiliate, especially of the poke and the ability to like lock down a lot. And a Varus. What do you think? On hit or poke Varus?
I'm thinking poke, honestly.
You're thinking poke,
I'm thinking
lethality?
this Maokai's going to come in. Yeah, lethality. I think this Maokai, or I don't know, does AP Varus work anymore? I mean, with Malignance, I would think that, like, I don't know. I would think that, like, I haven't played it. I haven't even seen it, honestly. So I don't know if that would work.
I don't think it would work that much. Like the issue with the AP Varus is that it's very situational when you're against very heavy tanks.
Yeah.
This Aphelios is not a tank. This Charmin is not a tank. Nami is not gonna be a tank for sure.
Yeah.
And if you have
probably not gonna
Maokai, if
see
you
it,
have
yeah.
Maokai, which is already gonna do AP damage, you don't need a Varus that is gonna do AP damage. You probably need this Varus to like poke as much as possible. And we see interesting. We're gonna see a Yorick top lane. Yorick was banned last game.
Yes.
So that means that probably for Florida Gulf Coast, the top laner plays a lot of Yorick. So this is gonna be very, very interesting. We see again a ban from of that Syndra.
Getting that from Fungus Dungus.
Getting out of the hands of Fungus Dungus. Ban of the Kassadin. Is it gonna be a ban for Kassadin? Ban of the Kassadin.
I mean, honestly, last game this Kassadin wasn't that much of an issue. So maybe Florida Tech wants to do something different.
Ban of the Urgot. Are they baiting the Oriana pick, or are they gonna get the Oriana pick? Because they can get Oriana R4 and then Hecarim R5 as last pick. If they still want to go Oriana Hecarim. And then B4, B5. Ooh! Again, very good with Oriana. If they manage to pick Oriana.
Shyvana was picked. Oh, Shyvana was banned last game as well. So maybe the jungler was forced to play Hecarim and he did not want to play.
He did not want to play Hecarim.
Yeah.
Interesting. We're probably going to see maybe that Oriana is again very good with this Charbon. Maybe that Oriana Ornn on the side of Florida Tech. Ornn being a relatively strong champion. And
Oh. Hold up, something's happening in the client.
1 second. Ornn. Okay.
But Florida Tech gets another pick. Oh, okay.
Ornn and Diana? Please tell me it's Diana. I haven't seen a Diana in a while. Interesting. And they lock in Hui. Last second pick Hui. Interesting middle lane. Again, Hui is very, very strong. Let's see what they pick on Florida Gulf Coast side. Because this Oriana doesn't seem that bad now. especially because she has a lot of range and that can like challenge Hui. But we're gonna see a Kiana. Interesting. We are lacking a bit on the AP side if that Shyvana doesn't play that AP
And you
build.
know Varus could.
And Varus.
Varus.
Now
Varus?
I'm thinking this could be an AP Varus. If this Shyvana goes full AD, this could be an AP Varus. But again, this time, Florida Golf Course is gonna put all their money into this split push. Most likely. Let's remember, the maiden got buffed.
Oh yes, the maiden got buffed.
buffed.
And the other summons got buffed too, right?
I think so. They did.
Yeah.
I think they did.
Now this is weird. I've never seen the draft being blind pick before.
I think it's for
After-
time wise because they don't have to ban again.
Yeah.
Now, Hui, extremely good champion. If you know your combos,
Yes.
I trust Fungus Angus to know the combos.
Yeah, I believe Fungus
Fungus Angus
combos.
knows his combos. Plus, Jarvan Hui, very good pick, very good comp. Jarvan Hui Ornn, extremely well done. If you extremely easy to execute, it's point click from all of them. Basically, you just need to know how to hit the Ornn double R. That's it. You get a lot of knockups, you get a lot of CC. Hui is gonna offer survivability for himself, lockdown in terms of his E, and a lot of damage coming from his Q and ult. Aphelios with this Nami is also gonna have a lot of sustain,
Especially with Nami.
Especially with Nami.
The Nami ult also is another up air, just like Ornn.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and Aphelios also brings a lot of utility into the game. On the other side, we have this Yorick that is gonna probably go into like heavy split push bruiser build.
Yeah.
Shyvana, which depending on the runes that we see, can go either full AP, full tank, full AD. We are probably gonna see the full AP Shyvana or kind of a mix between AP tank. Because we don't have any other sources of damage unless the Varus builds full AP. And Maokai is going to be a little bit of a damage source, but he also has to take the role of a tank. Because Yorick is probably not going to be available in the team fights. Yorick is probably going to prefer to like get these objectives and try to like push for more turrets, push for inhibitors, try to drain all of the objective, the enemy objectives inside of Flora Tech. While on the other side, Flora Tech is a very team fight heavy comp. This Nami is gonna give a lot of sustain. Hui really easy to execute when you have a Jarvan Ornn. A lot of damage coming from like the AP AD side of Flora Tech, and this is we saw the build that Jarvan had last game with that Thunder Sky and Spear of Sojin, so a lot of cooldown reduction. Aphelios probably gonna go into like very crit damage AD, and this way, which Malignance most likely, as we've seen from every single AP champs, Malignance and Storm Surge. Ornn now dealing against a very into a very like AD heavy composition, so a lot of health, a lot of HP, a lot of armor, and you need some tenacity.
Ah yes, tenacity.
You're gonna need a lot of
yeah.
tenacity. Let's remember the
Maokai.
maiden, Maokai, Varus, Kiana, Shyvana. Exactly. Everything is gonna try to kill you. Now Ornn can use Yorick's cage in his favor.
Yes. Yeah.
He can knock up with the cage. So we are gonna see a interesting combination to see.
Ornn could also do the same thing with Jarvan, which I don't think we got to see yet.
We didn't get to see yet,
Yeah.
but yes, he can use that with Jarvan, and he actually destroys Jarvans.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. So I don't think it's very usable in that sense. I'm not sure about Yorick if he destroys it, because Yorick's cage has HP, and that's a completely different mechanic. But he may be able to. Now this Kiana It's gonna deal a lot of damage, especially since these what's the name? These lethality changes happened from last season to this season, which now lethality is flat lethality. So that's gonna be funny.
And I think from these Varus runes, we're gonna know if he's going AP or AD.
From these virus runes, it's most likely the on-hit build. We are gonna see Shyvana full AP because she does have that. Ooh, and there's been a pause
Already.
Oh, a player needed to use the bathroom. From what I just read.
I don't know why he couldn't have done this a little bit earlier.
Exactly. But who knows? We don't see that many. Oh, do you know what hasn't happened?
What hasn't happened?
We haven't been kicked from the game. We were able to watch.
Okay, I wasn't gonna say anything until the very end.
Hey!
I wasn't
We
gonna
gotta put it in the
say
table.
anything.
We are in a pause. We are in a
I was not gonna
pause.
say anything to the very end of the game, but yeah, last game that did not happen.
It did not
And
happen.
even streaming the game before that, it happened once. So it wasn't happening. The first game we went all the way through, and then the second game it happened once at 25. So I'm hoping that that's an issue that has been slowly solved, but because I don't think that's on my end. But we'll see what happens.
Welcome to
I don't know if you're
Cyber
watching the
City.
LCK. The basically pro play from Korea. They had a DDoS attack this week.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
until
Oh.
the
It was wild. It was
Wow.
wild. They couldn't even play a single game.
Okay,
Like they had
yeah.
to reschedule. They had to change how they put like the LAN servers. They had to play basically in a closed network almost. It was very funny.
That is crazy. You would think that like they'd have like, well, I don't know. People manage to do like anything, but you would
Hey,
think
people
that,
managed to do
yeah.
everything. And we see a common start, very common starts. This Shyvana is gonna take Red Smite for that extra damage. Both top laners is basically gonna live on an island. A little bit of a dance battle in the top jungle, in the entry to the top jungle. And other than that, a very common start from like both teams. Interesting to see if Aphel is gonna try to get this extra range to get a little bit of an advantage. And they do manage to get to the way first. And Fungus Dungus, using that, revealing that he got Q first. But look at that. Manages to get the advantage with this range advantage that he has. And right now the game is waiting until to see who is gonna snowball.
I mean, we have Ornn with grass, and it looks like he's doing his
Grimmy
best to try to
does
get any
give me-
grass stacks as possible.
Oof. The damage from Aphelios level 1 is kind of high. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of annoying to play an Aphelios when you're like a low level. Especially because Aphelios has so much range from the beginning. And it's very hard to like challenge the range unless you're playing champions like Caitlyn or Ezreal, which can poke.
It's
But
the
even
same
then,
range as Caitlyn, right?
no, I think it's higher.
Oh,
I think it's the longest range in the game. Ooh, and look at that combo from White Connor. Oh, look at the poke from Cream into Gale with these ghouls biting into him, biting into his soul. And right now, White Connor is one combo away of probably getting the kill on Fungus Angus. Not anymore. Fungus Angus takes the pot.
Something that we never really see anymore is I don't even know if it's still in the game. I think it still is, but purple pot.
Purple pot, as in elixir? Like
No, that's green, right? I'm talking about the one that's
at the beginning.
yeah.
What's the name?
I don't even know. If it's
Corruption
still
potion.
Yes, corruption potion.
Yeah,
Yes.
we do see it, but it depends very much on the matchup.
Okay.
I would have taken it as Ornn right now, just because it basically helps you deal a lot of damage. because it gives you some stats. Plus, it not only recovers AP,
So
but
is that like pro
AD.
level that you like play still use corruption?
It's very situational.
Okay.
It's very much depending on matchup. Again, as I said. But look at Fungus Dungus chunking the health out of that Kiana. Now none of them have pods, and he has a small, very small farm lane. And this bot lane, very hard to farm. Oof. And it's gonna be very hard to fight. I don't think Gale gets out. He gets flash, he gets one flash, he's gonna get another flash. Oof. But look at that. Very close, and they manages to get the kill with the red buff. A lot of flashes wasted in the bot lane, and a lot of flashes wasted from both sides. And there's one difference. Gale manages to get out and survive that attack. Very good from him. He only wasted the flash.
Shyvana used their flash too, so
exactly. Shyvana used it's not much of a waste, and right now Maokai is trying to freeze the wave, but this Aphelios is gonna try to get as much as possible by like unfreezing the wave. Right now, because Varus was not able to get as much gold. Oof, nice from Gale. It's very, I'm not gonna lie, as an old Ornn player, it's very hard to play against this Yorick because of all the anti abilities against you that he has. It's very annoying, and look at that, Fungus Dungus ults, and he gets the flash out of he gets the flash out of that Kiana, and that Kiana does not have TP. So it's gonna be very hard to come back. Oof! Look at the poke. He cannot even farm. And we get a void grab for a take, and I think a couple. What was that? Excuse me. Riot Games, please check your game. Fungus Dungus destroys this Kiana with a flash. Just annihilates her with all the combo that he has. Like, look at that. Explain how a mage just defeated an assassin, please.
Oh, you haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything
wait until he can actually one-shot somebody at full health. With the new mage items, I don't know. It feels like mages are assassins.
Mages are assassins. I remember when the term mage assassin existed for people like Echo or even what's the name?
Ari.
Even Ari. Yeah. But nowadays we lived in such a control mage meta that when we see a mage one-shotting someone,
yeah, it's not even like Lissandra could do that.
Exactly. It's kind of like mind-boggling. Like, I remember when Orianna could do that with the old combo. Yeah, with the old combo. That old combo was wild. You could actually like one-shot an ADC, even like almost a tank. Ooh, look at
now anybody can one-shot an ADC, and there's the maiden.
There is the maiden, and now they're in trouble. Af is in trouble. Are they gonna? He doesn't manage to get out. And Gale running for his life.
Oh.
I think he's gonna get killed. With a sliver of health and hope, he manages to survive with less than 50 HP. Now I see this mobility from that Kiana. Oof! Almost the steal from really the side of Flora Tech. Very close. And now we get 2 kills into that Varus, which. Oof. Oof. Look at Fungus Dungus damage being like a monster against this Kiana, which Kiana bought Tiamat first to try to farm, and is still not able to catch up in farm. It's gonna be very hard for her to play around. Now, with the advantage that Fungus Dungus has, he should be able to snowball to other lanes. So even though we see a small advantage in the bot lane in terms of kills and not farm, maybe Fungus Dungus rotating there is gonna help a lot. Now, what's the issue? If you don't take care of the top lane, which it's kind of losing in terms of farm and plates, then that Yorick is gonna turn into a monster. Like that Maiden destroying.
A split pushing
Yeah,
monster.
is a split pushing monster. He already got, I think, 2 points in the cage. That's why the cage now has 3 health and not 2. So it's gonna be more and more annoying for Gale to try to get out. Creamy is doing a very good job to try to stop Gale from like basically scaling. Look at that. 20 farm advantage for the side of
It's like he has his own wave.
yeah, for Creamy. He does have his own wave.
He made a wave.
He does make a wave, and it's kind of annoying. Gale needs to kill this Maiden because he needs to prevent from more ghouls from spawning. Because the more ghouls spawn, you throw your Q. I think it's you throw your W as Creamy.
Yes.
And then
yes.
you send all the ghouls for Gale, and Gale is gonna get chunked to death. Like,
And they move faster and do more damage the further away you are from.
like, look at that. That hits Gale, and Gale gets half of his HP out. And Fungus Dungus playing with fire. Is he gonna? He's able to get out of pretty swiftly. Pretty swiftly. He doesn't receive a single slit of damage. But right now, this is kind of worrying for the side of Flora Tech because Creamy was already like in the void grabs.
And that's done.
And Fungus Dungus manages to shut down. What is that all from Ornn? He hits one person and he's not able to like isolate any of the enemy team. And now Reset gets caught up, but he's able to escape, and that is an atrocious fight for Flora Tech.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, Fungus Dungus that was Fungus Dungus that got hit with the Orianna ult, right? No. That was the Philios.
No. Fungus Dungus did got hit by that.
Okay. Which honestly, I was really surprised that hit him. It didn't really look like it did, but I think
the thing is that it didn't push him, but he was behind the wave.
Exactly.
So,
I think also in the river it's a little different. So like if like just the area that she ults also stuns, but it doesn't really push. I don't know. But
it's not more about the river, it's about what element she has.
Okay.
She did have water element.
Okay.
Oh my god. This Maiden dealing so much damage. Look at that.
But it was a massive ult from Fungus Dungus, but it just didn't do enough.
It was a
damage
massive hole, but again, he doesn't have a full item. He's building for that Luden's companion most likely. Then that Luden's companion into but look at these goals again, chunking the life out of Gale. So much damage from this atrocious champ. And Af, while a little bit behind in terms of kills, he is ahead in terms of CS. That may balance a bit. It's not that much taking into account that this Varus has an objective bounty of 300, which is a lot. That's like a 600 gold shutdown. And the Maiden manages to escape unscathed. And right now, while Troy Tech had the advantage in the mid lane, now it seems like Fungus Dungus is playing more safely. We haven't seen that much death in the top lane, but beware.
We have seen almost death in the top
exactly.
lane.
Beware, because this Yorick now has a Ravenous Hydra. Ravenous Hydra gonna deal a lot of damage, especially with the Q. So it's gonna be something.
And here we have Florida Tech trying to
chunk as much as possible, but again, it's
a
Maokai.
Exactly.
And look at this split pushing monster. Oh no, Gale! Run away! Run away! Yes! He barely manages to run with his life, with his not even spending his flash because he didn't have any, but he manages to use his E on time. But now third in top lane falls down, so very, very hard to play for that Herald right now, especially if you don't have Prio in top lane. Tech do need to get some Prio in the mid lane, try to like push some lanes, maybe get some vision down. We saw that it's a Cloud Drake, so it's gonna be interesting how this is gonna play out, because not only we're gonna see Hui with Malignance, we're also seeing a Hui with at least a Cloud Drake, which is gonna give him cooldown reduction.
Does Cloud Drake give ultimate cooldown reduction anymore? I thought
I
it
think
gave
it does.
speed.
No, that was before, wasn't it? No, that's what's the name? I think you can click on a champ if they have a Drake. No, click for stats.
I don't
There
think
you go.
anybody has.
They don't have Drakes yet. Yeah. Oh, but Florentech manages to get the Herald.
Yeah, where's
Be
the
relatively easy. A little bit in disadvantage in terms of gold, but look at that, they're gonna be able to match these lost. And right now, Hui getting attacked in bot lane. He's probably gonna get one.
Look
He
at
gets
this.
one and needs a shutdown.
Can easily get the second
And he
one.
gets the second one in a 1v2. Very, very good.
Yeah.
And look at this, Florentech in the middle. Oof, this Jarvan getting out with his health barely alive.
Now that we saw the Kiana use the Jarvan ult in order to get further ultimate, to further her ultimate into I don't think it really affected anything, but it was still the fact that like it happened. But they were just not able to really focus Aphelios like that because Jarvan, you know, split the fight into two separate parts with the Shyvana and the Kiana. But definitely from bot lane, a whole other fight, the Fungus Dungus versus both Varus and Maokai, that was crazy.
That was
Being able to get
absolutely
both.
crazy, and now we see this way. The difference, the Luden's companion, he now has a full item. He's going for this. Look at. Wait, is he building Malignance?
Who, Hui?
Is Hui building Malignance?
No, I don't think so. I think that's
Because that's Hextech Alternator, and
Yeah.
that could be either a Storm Surge.
Storm. It's probably Storm Surge.
He's
I
probably
think
Storm
that's-
Surge
yeah, that's what
first.
he's building, yeah.
Yeah. But he does have a. Oh wait, no. It's what's the name? The one that gives you true damage. It's
Ooh,
yellow.
Storm. No.
I think it's Storm something.
Shadow.
Shadow Flame.
Shadow
Flame. Yeah, Shadow Flame. Shadow Flame is
It
gonna
could
be
be
very
that too.
interesting.
And here we just see the
The absolute
Absolute
monster
craziness.
that is the Maiden.
of the Maiden, all of the whatever.
And
I don't know
Ornn
what they're
did
called.
not rotate
Little
even though
gremlins.
the little ghouls
Yeah.
eat up
Yeah, it's
the
so
health
many.
from
He had like
reset.
8.
He got so much, and they were not able to to get the Maiden first. If you are fighting against a Yorick, it sounds dumb, but go for the Maiden. She deals a lot of damage. She did an extreme amount of damage. And oh, is Gale gonna get caught up? Are we gonna see the jail coming from? Ooh, we see the jail getting cancelled. But we do see the Maiden trying to get something. But look at Fungus Dungus! Is he gonna get caught? He's not caught.
don't
He's
have
not
vision.
seen. They don't have vision. Look at this damage though.
that
Ooh,
damage.
and this Shibana is not going full AP. He's going into the AD side with this Spear of
Still did
Sojourn.
half of Aphelios'
Still
health,
did
though.
have a Aphelios health. Oh, but look at that Hui dealing so much damage into this Shyvana. And this is gonna be a 5v5 fight. Interesting that we don't see that Yori going for that split push. But is he gonna get caught up? That's one knock-up.
And reset enabling the dodge Kiana's stun. Oh, kind of a big Aphelios ult. but
Oof,
didn't really
and
do that much.
they do not manage to do that much. And they do manage to kill the problem child that is Yorick. But right now everybody's trying to run away. Wait, they don't kill Yorick. They kill Maokai. Oof, look at that Hui. Look at that damage from Hui. They did not kill Yorick. I got confused with Maokai.
Yeah, it was Maokai.
And again, the problem child that is Yorick deals so much damage. Is able to get so much space with this what's the name? With this maiden. I don't think, do they have Cloud Soul? Oh yeah.
Out of combat
You're
movement
right.
speed.
Out of combat movement speed and slow resistance.
I don't know why it doesn't show me.
It's just the Chemtech. It's just nobody knows what Chemtech does. Nobody should know. Nobody knows what Chemtech does. Deals damage.
Chemtech
That's
doesn't
it.
matter. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. Chemtech. I think Chemtech is cooldown reduction. It may be.
I don't know. I know Chemtech Soul makes it so like when you're below 50% health, you do more
Yes,
damage.
you do
and
more
resistance.
damage.
But oh, it's heal and shield power.
Oh,
It's
heal and
extra,
shield.
It's extra
Wait,
heal and shield power.
what
Yeah,
about
it is.
Ocean?
Ocean? It's just more healing. You just heal more outside of battle.
Okay. Yeah, but right now we're gonna see a little bit of a slowdown in the game as none of the neutral objectives are up, with the exception of Baron. But committing to Baron right now is gonna be very, very hard for both teams. Unless the Yorick really gets down and like starts chomping the Baron out, it's gonna be very, very hard. I think Yorick hypothetically could do it alone with the Maiden because of how his champ works and how much advantage he has. But it would depend a lot.
I do know Yorick is able to get Baron as soon as it spawns, in some situations, or in some builds, but I don't know if he has. I don't think he has those items right now. That would
I don't think he has the items right now. Oh, Chemtech Drake gives you tenacity based on how many
tenacity.
stacks. Tenacity. Which is kind of good.
So what's heal and shield power? Which one is?
I think Soul is healed and shield power.
Oh, okay.
Give me 1 second. No, Soul is not healed and shield power. Mountain is magic resistance.
Yes.
Oof, look at this.
Look at this Shyvana damage. And we do see a little AP item come out of Shyvana.
We do see a little bit of AP, but look at that. They destroyed the back lane. This Hui is a monster, and I don't think he wants to get touched with. And right now, are they gonna fall for the trap? They saw Reset, but Reset manages to get out with the flag. And in the bot lane, they basically put Kiana against one of the most tankiest.
As we saw, Kiana's Q did nothing no
Did
more.
absolutely nothing to earn. And this Yorick is gonna be. It's very much most of the gold on the side of what's the name? On the side of Florida Gulf Coast. It's gonna be located in this Yorick. Can you pull up the gold?
Yes.
It's a difference of like almost 2k, so yeah, most of the gold is located there. Like ADCs are very, very similar mid laners. There's this slight 2k advantage. Hey, 1k advantage. 1k advantage for Floritex Fungus Dungus. Then again 500 gold advantage for Jarvan, and then a 2k advantage from this Yorick, from just getting objectives, getting waves, pushing for those these neutrals, getting 5 assists. So that's why we see a discrepancy in items. While yes, you see mid lane, oh, it's at 2 items against 2 items. You see bot lane is at 2 items against 2 items. But top lane is like, oh, Yorick has Spear of Sojin, Ravenous Hydra, and like half of Last Whisper.
Yeah.
And then on the other side you have Ornn with what's the name? With a Sunfire Cape and a Bramble Vest and Plating Boost. So it's gonna be very, very hard for Floritex to play when Yorick's around. But they do manage to send the Maiden alone. Fun fact, I think the Maiden hasn't died.
This whole game.
I think this is the first Maiden. I haven't seen the maiden die.
Now that I think about it, I think you're right. I don't think I have seen the
I
maiden
think
die.
I have seen the maiden die.
So if she's gonna die, I mean, there's gonna be it right here. And they just leave the maiden alone.
And it's gonna push extremely hard and probably get the top tier 2 tower.
I wish there was a spectate maiden button.
I wish there was an expected maiden button. It would be really funny. And it would be very interesting because, yeah, look at that. It's pushing
It's pushing extremely hard, yeah. And
blue team steals the Drake, and they get knocked on 1 on 2 players, and 1 dies. Maokai dies, but the ult from Kiana is amazing. Massive Kiana ult, and we're gonna see the death
Red team
of 3 Florida Tech's player against the 2 from the side of a Florida Gulf Coast. And again, this made him pushing so hard in the top lane. Look at that, getting the turret again, doing so much damage.
Somebody ping the maiden. I think we have the TP in order to stop the maiden from. Oh, it took down the turret.
He took down the turret, and he's probably gonna take down Gale if he's not careful enough. He has very low HP, and this maiden deals a ton of damage. Look at that gold difference. It went from a 2k gold difference to a 4k gold difference, and it's just almost all located in the top lane.
I mean, honestly, their money is more evenly distributed than Florida Texas, but majority of it is in the top lane. The top lane is the issue. I feel like the maiden is really a big issue.
The maiden
all by
is a
herself.
monster. The maiden is a monster, and now for the first time it has been defeated.
That was the first maiden.
That
We'll
was
see
the
what the
first
second
maiden.
one can do.
Let's see what the second one can do. If it's as good as the first, then they may get to Nexus.
Do you think this is gonna end before we get to see a soul?
It may be possible just because of Yorick. The split push ability that he has is kind of wild and bonkers, so there is a high chance. The only problem is that if Yorick gets one-shotted, because he doesn't have any resistances. If you go back to items, I think he has like most items are damage based. Yeah.
Yes, all of his names, yeah.
So if he gets anything, then yeah, maybe. But if he gets one-shotted and maiden dies, then it's gonna be extremely hard for this to end before Soul. This is gonna be decided in a team fight though. I don't think the goal difference is enough to be considered like, oh, Florida Tech is just gonna one shot or Florida Golf Coast is gonna one shot. Because as we saw, this way deals a ton of damage. This way, if he lays down his all his abilities in the right order, he's gonna be able to one-shot that Varus and that Kiana very easy. But the problem is that, okay, now you basically killed both of them. Now you have to fight again a 4v5 because Maiden's there, and Maiden is almost a champion. So not only Hui needs to play extremely well, but these Aphelios is also need to play extremely well.
We also are saying here the Orin items are coming into play with I don't know. Okay, yeah, with Hui getting the upgraded
Luden's companion.
Yeah, and Jorvin getting the upgraded
Spear of Sojourn.
Spear of Sojourn, yeah.
We're probably gonna see the upgrade for Aphelios next.
I don't know. I don't know if Orn will upgrade himself or upgrade.
Orn gets the free upgrade for himself
Oh,
as soon
really?
as he hits level 13.
Well, it's
So,
not. Is it upgraded right now? Or
the
no,
thing,
just, okay,
he
just doesn't have an item.
Yeah, he
okay.
doesn't have an item which can be
I
upgraded.
thought Sunfire could be upgraded.
Sunfire cannot anymore.
Yeah.
I think it could before even mythics existed. And again, Sunfire was a mythic, so it could have been upgraded.
I was a. Well, never mind.
And look at that, they're gonna cut up Creamy off guard, maybe. But they don't manage to lay all the CC down.
Oh, and here we have Shyvana trying to. Oh, a Nami and Orn ult. Or to get, but not many people got hit by either of them.
Oof, but they are playing in their lanes. They are playing extremely well. Oof, the Hui damage is extremely good, and right now Florida can basically just rotate to Baron, get these kills and win. They flipped the match and they are winning. But beware, the Maiden is on the top lane and it's making a massive hole.
Lane. And just like before, if this was the previous Maiden, that turret is already gone.
That turret is getting chunked to death, and right now we're gonna see it fall extremely soon. 3, 2, 1. There
And
you
it's
go.
gone.
No more turret. This meeting is pushing extremely hard, and Creamy doing the dragon by its own. They said, yeah, you got 2 kills, you got a Baron, but I also get my objectives.
Oh, and look at this Maiden.
Look at the damage that the Maiden deals.
That was all Maiden damage onto that Nami.
Maiden damage, basically. This Aphelios does have some resistances in the form of this Guardian Angel.
Does the Maiden do 80 damage?
The Maiden, I think, deals 80 damage.
Okay.
That's why I think
I don't know.
I don't know exactly what's the translation, because for example I know Ezreal, even though you can build it
It's max health damage.
oh,
Max
it's
health
maximum magic damage. Interesting. That's a funny one. Oh, somebody needs to cover this bot lane. In a base rush, Floratech does not win if the Maiden's alive.
One thing is they have Baron and they have that enhanced recall. Orin can make it there really quick. But Yorwick is not pushing this. Just wanted to push the wave up, but he himself isn't pushing this. He does have the Maiden up right now.
Dizor needs to push this bottom lane and then go back and push this top lane. They do need to like try to get prior in lanes. But look at that, Yorick is coming from the back, trying to get a pick on them. Oh, look at the damage that is gonna be laid down, and that's it. No more way into the fight. What
Sadly, Aphelios
fight.
does not do that much damage.
What a fight. Aphelios does not deal as much damage as Wei. He's not able to survive, and basically Flora Colcos get away with this team fight and probably with the win. The timers are 30-40 seconds long, and they have the Maiden alive, and this turret in the middle lane is very low. Unless Ornn lays down some damage, it's gonna be very hard. What are we gonna see? Are we gonna see an Arnold? Are we gonna see an Arnold to try to clear the wave? No, we're not. The turret is gone, and the inhibitor is next. Now Nami is out, but they managed to get an inhibitor.
Still, when it comes to money, Florida Tech is in a deficit by 6,000 because that Maiden is able to destroy turrets so quickly. Got
And
the
this
overall
Yorick
objectives.
just sends the Maiden to the top lane.
Exactly.
Even though Chungus Fungus is extremely fed, let's not forget that this Yorick deals so much damage. We now see an Eclipse, almost full build. We're probably gonna see, I'm thinking a Trinity Force, maybe.
Maybe you might be right, but look, the Maiden. We got the Maiden going now top lane again. If Florida Tech does nothing, this Maiden could even take inhibitor.
This Maiden could even take inhibitor.
I mean, also it looks like Shyvana's pushing with the Maiden, and that is dangerous. I don't think they win any type of base fight with both Shyvana and the Maiden. It looks like Shyvana's backing off.
Chimera does back off, but Florida Tech needs to send someone
They
to rescue
need
the
to send
Maiden.
somebody for this Maiden.
And Folotech is not looking at
And
the map
sadly,
apparently.
I don't know if Orin does enough in order to, or does enough damage in order to stop this maiden.
This tower is extremely low too. It's I think half health. So unless Ornn,
And there they go, sending Orin for the maiden.
oh,
But it
look
looks
at
like the
that.
turret's already gone. Like
Turret's
I said,
already gone. Inhibitors next. And I think Maiden's dead in 3, 2, 1.
maiden most definitely is gonna die.
Maiden's dead. Oof, look at the chunk damage
Oh
that
my
I've
God.
got. Are we gonna get a TP to the backline from Ornn? No,
Yes,
he
yes,
just
he
he just
He
no.
TP'd.
He TP'd, but he didn't TP to the
Oh,
backside of
not
the
to their
tank.
backline, no. There's a lot of damage on Yorwick, making him play a little bit farther back, but he wasn't really in the front anyway because he wasn't going tank.
They are very close together. This is the perfect fight for Jarvan, and they managed to get Cloud Soul. Now Florida run from their lives. They need to try to get they need to try to get back alive and with their backs for this Baron.
I can't even see the buff. The buff moves too much. I think it gives movement speed whenever you use your ultimate.
I think it does get movement speed whenever you're
Which honestly would have been really good for Florida Tech because they already have the Nami ultimate, which gives movement speed already. And then so whenever Nami used her ultimate, she would have got movement speed, and everybody else in the team would have.
Oh, look at Reset getting caught up and at the start of the battle. And Reset's dead. The Aphelios still hits no one. And Aphelios is alone and manages to kill the Kiana. But he gets one-shotted by that by this Shyvana.
I honestly think Aphelios, dang, Fungus Dungus with so much
Fungus
damage.
Dungus does so much damage, but at the end of the
but
game,
has no mana right now.
he has no mana.
But he does have ways to get his mana back with his abilities.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
But I honestly think Aphelios dealing damage to the Maokai is honestly what killed him there because Maokai has Thornmail.
Makai does have Thornmail.
Thornmail and a lot of armor.
Look at how
But it
much
looks
they
like this
chunk.
is it.
And
that's game.
GG's for the side of for Ghost Coast.
We are probably going to see a Yorick ban next game, I'll tell you that
Yeah,
much.
we'll see a Yorick ban.
But anyway, we'll be right back for game 3 in 5 minutes, and we'll see you then. Hey everybody, welcome back. For this part, game three, I'm gonna be alone because Juan has to go to work, so it's just me. Hope everyone's having a nice night, and let's get into this bands. So first we see Smolder, Viego, and Zeri band from FGCU. Honestly, from that Zeri that we saw 2 games ago, they do not want to go against that. They'd rather go against the Aphelios, it looks like. And then from the other side, from Florida Tech, we see Draven, Alawi, and a Yorwick ban. Yeah, Yorwick, I would say would be the first one to get banned here because they were not. FGCU was cooking too much. But we do see Hui. I am surprised that FGCU did not ban Hui because Fungus Fungus was doing really well on Hui last game. But oh, we also see a Thresh. Did we see a hooking champion out of our support? For the first game we saw Lulu, and for the second game we saw I already forgot. That's really sad. Um, but I think this is the first time we are seeing a hooking champ out of Florida Tech support. Oh, Maokai Ezreal. I think this. I think FGCU's ADC has been different every single time. Maybe Draven is their main because I have seen a Draven ban out of Florida Tech every time. So that means Ezreal Draven's probably their main, and they're just trying to figure out anything. I do know Ezreal is very safe to play because of his teleport. We did see it a couple games ago, but if Ezreal times his E correctly, he can pretty much dodge any type CC. So he can pretty much dodge Thresh hook if he just E's right as Thresh is hooking him. Or directly before Thresh is hooking him, the hook will go through, but Ezreal will teleport to the location that he decided to teleport to. And then we do see an Akshan and a Malphite. Um, I think for the previous 2 games, oh no, we saw Kiana last game, and then we saw um Cassidy mid lane the game before that from SGCU. Akshan is a very weird pick here, I think, because I don't know. It's like you knew what their mid lane. Well, I guess I don't think Akshan counters Hui, but I do think Akshan might be a better pick instead of Kiana here against Hui. The from what we saw last game, Hui was just able to get control of lane a lot better. Therefore, like Kiana couldn't really do anything. Kiana was melee, so there was little that he could that the Kiana could do against Hui, which is ranged, especially when Sway was fed and could actually use his range to do damage instead of just auto attacks. But I guess Akshan here will out. Well, he's hoping to like out maneuver Hui's abilities and stuff. And we have Gragas from Florida Tech. We did see Gragas for FGCU, but this is the first time we're seeing it for Florida Tech. Let's see. I think here we'll probably get AP Gragas. For right now, it's jungle, but honestly, it could Malphite could be mid like no, Malphite is probably top lane in this pick, but Gragas could be jungle, could be mid lane, could be Gragas is such a fluid pick that you could do anything. And Kassadin. So Akshan top lane it looks like maybe or Kassadin top. I mean both I've seen in my games before, but it looks like we don't really have a jungler yet for FGCU. Let's see what they pick. Nocturne. Right when Juan was talking about he wanted to see a Nocturne the first game, here's Nocturne. And Tristana. So Tristana Thresh is really strong. If Thresh can hook onto somebody, Tristana just jumps, bomb, auto, and then could jump again, and then get a kill, and can jump even again. I can see a lot of damage coming from that, but Ezreal is a safety pick here, so we'll see what happens. I will be right back. I'm gonna go change mics. Hello, guys. I am back, and it looks like everybody's locked in, and we're gonna be waiting for the spectator delay to go through. Oh, and it's Cassidy mid lane, and oh yeah, Cassidy mid lane, Axe on top. I said that earlier, but it's Greg is jungle. Sorry, that's my bad. Um, Honestly, from what the champs select this, from what I'm seeing from the champs select, I can see there's going to be a lot of movement in the jungle here. I mean, Akshan's able to easily become invisible and then walk around in the jungle for while he's invisible. And if he sees a scoundrel, he's able to walk faster towards them. So I can see a lot of ganks mid, maybe even a lot of ganks bot here with Nocturne ult. And with Cassidon's teleport ability, I mean, there's a lot of movement. Everybody on this team has movement, has some type of dash from FGCU. And then also for Florida Tech, I'm able to see there's a lot of engage here. I mean, there's Tristana mid, Hui bot lane, but that's probably gonna switch. And if it doesn't, then I mean it's possible, but that's most likely gonna switch. Uh, Wait, but wouldn't it? I don't know. I was about to say it was blind pick, so maybe it is just a Hui mid lane and a Tristana ADC, but it's most likely gonna switch. But from Florida Tech, I see a lot of engage. I see a lot of burst damage. Tristana is known for being an ADC with a lot of burst damage. With Hui's passive doing so much damage as we saw last game. Malphite having his ult that can immediately engage. Gragas having his ult or his bombs that could his setups and his bombs that could explode and then disrupt the entire team. And Thresh's hooks, the ultimate engage. But it seems like FGCU has the ultimate disengage as well, with Ezreal's E being able to immediately get a dash out, Akshan becoming invisible, Cassin R'ing away. It would be really hard in order to lock up somebody in this, but we'll see what happens. And we are in the game. I did not notice how loud the League of Legends part of the stream was. I'm sorry if it was a little bit too loud. I just muted it, or not muted it, but I just turned it down a little bit.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
And it looks like here we have a little sneaky play. I do not know if FGCU was seen them. Oh, it looks like they have, with Ezreal backing up immediately. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of engage on this team, so I would see. So it makes sense that they would try to do something like this, level 1. Really, when it comes to Cassidon versus Tristana, Tristana wants to shut down Cassidon as early as possible before Cassidon's able to rack up his ult, because he's going to be looking to poke a lot. So then he has gold because he has first strike to be able to use that ult when he has it. So he has the items and the backing for that ult to do a lot of damage. Here it looks like we see Malphite versus Akshan. That Akshan shield is crazy. I really think Akshan wins against Malphite in this because he gets that shield every time, and then that should negate the poke from Akshan, or the poke from Malphite that Akshan shield, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, if Malphite can get some money early, get some items early, then it'd be broken. But Akshan, I think in this situation, Malphite's gonna have to play back in order to not give that Akshan as much money as possible, and then hope for the Gragas to engage, or hope for the Gragas to gank. But like we see here is really hard. And look what I said, this Tristan is looking to shut down Castan every turn he takes, every move he makes. And here we see how powerful Hui is with so much utility and so much damage. I'm pretty sure if all of that utility, all that damage went to Ezreal, Ezreal would be dead by now. But since Maokai is a little bit tanky, has a little bit of armor, innate armor in him, it's really hard to kill. But damage is damage, and that's useful. Even though Maokai has innate healing in his kit, as much damage as possible is still a good thing. And here we see how Akshan is annoying Malphite in order to not get him the back and come back. Trying to keep him here as long as possible because he has no mana. Like, there's really nothing that Malphite can do in this situation when it comes to dealing damage, because Malphite's damage mainly comes, at least against a ranged champion, from his Q, which requires a lot of mana to use, and he does not have any. But he had enough for that one there, so. And here, like I said again, Tristana is trying her hardest, even with Halo Blades, trying to get as many autos as possible in order to do as much damage as quickly as possible. Because once that Castan has R, things change. The whole game changes. At least not the whole game, but the game for her will change. But Tristana is devious. It's known to have. Oh, and here we see 2 flashes being used by Florida Tech in order to execute, get this kill as quickly as possible. Oh, and is that a kill for Tristana? And it is. So 2 kills for Florida Tech. It looks like there Tristana had to flash in order to get that, but we see 3 flashes being used out of Florida Tech. But I mean, you got to do what you got to do in order to get kills, in order to get that money. Now we see Florida Tech being up by 2, and Tristana is running it back again. As much damage as possible, like I said. It is a really tough lane for Malphite. There's not much he can do if he doesn't want to get poked down. But, I mean, at the end of the day, if you have to go all in against, and it looks like Malphite's not going to want to go all in because Nocturne's top side. It looks like Nocturne also stole Gragas' Krugs up there. I didn't really get the, I think he did. Which is not that good for Gragas, but oh, and here we see Florida Tech getting some, FGCU getting some Void Grubs. Got 2. Void Grubs this season are broken, like I've always said. It makes you do true damage to the turrets. It makes things. It makes the little Void Grubs pop out, which do even more damage to the turrets. It's just it's really busted. But you need at least 4 for those. So trying to get as much of those as possible, and then also if you get 6 of those, you get double as many Void Grubs that pop out whenever you auto a tower. So really, just honestly, whoever gets the Void Grubs is really like. It sets him up for the entire game. And here we see Thresh using most of his utility on Maokai. We also see how tanky Maokai is, but Ash doesn't really do that much damage for right now. Got that last chapter. Still probably building the same build path as we saw last game, that Fungus built. Honestly, me personally, I see a lot of ways go support instead of ADC. But with the meta that ADC, or not ADC, but as burst mages are, controller mages are right now, it doesn't surprise me that like a burst mage like Hui is or could be as a ADC or is equivalent to this Ezreal that is an ADC. And there we have Florida Tech killing the dragon, getting as much money as possible, as much objectives as possible. Because honestly, last game we saw Florida Tech didn't really put that much effort, or they tried their best, but they didn't really prioritize objectives like towers like that, because Dior with the Maiden made it really difficult to manipulate where you want to be on the map, because you always got to send somebody for the Maiden. And at the end of the day, I think that'll really that really was the reason that Florida Tech lost last match. But and here we just see Hui doing devious things. Devastating. We also see Tristani here getting a plate, because she can place her E on towers and do a lot of damage. Makes her really good for destroying towers. Oh, and this is, this is so much damage. Oh, but it looked like that Maokai actually split up both of bot lanes, so then the Ezreal ult didn't really hit. That's just miscommunication right there. I mean, even if the Ezreal ult did hit, I don't think Ezreal might have been able to kill the Thresh there if he engaged further, but I think that would have led to him dying. So it didn't really matter that much. But there we just see how strong Hui ult is, and it really just puts to light how ADC in this meta isn't really. It's just damage, and all it is like a damage dealing role. But anybody could be that damage dealing role at this point in the meta. And we have Malphite versus Akshan, which really surprised me, because Malphite only has plated steel caps, but it's still enough armor in order to survive Akshan enough to get those autos in and to still push Akshan as much as possible. Oh, and Florida Tech getting 5 Void Grubs from this, if they can get all of them. But it looks like they probably will be able to, leaving bot lane open like this. But Nocturne, I guess, knows that they are getting Void Grubs. And we see something happening down there. There, Tristana's not allowing Nocturne to just come into the jungle and get whatever he wants. And here we see a lane swap. I don't know if it's because Hui is fed right now that a lane swap is necessary, but we see a lot of damage coming from Hui. But I don't know where this lane swap is really coming from. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess it's working because they're bot side. And Akshan actually swapping the bot as well. And telling Kassadin to go top. Looks like we have a whole jumble of things going on here. I mean, their mid lane's top, the top lane's bot, and their jungle's jungle. So bot lane's mid. Guess just switching things up to see if it works. I mean, 0-3. We see that FGCU is 0-3 right now, so anything to change up what's happening, try to get something. And I mean, this Malphite doesn't have any magic resist right now, so it would be better for for Kassadin to go against him than Akshan, who only uses AD. But he might be just focused on farming for right now, it looks like. Not engaging onto anything. And in this game, we see Florida Tech really putting an emphasis on getting objectives. I mean, FGCU hasn't really been able to get anything other than 2 Void Grubs at this moment. And then here we have the Nocturne going on to the ADC. Oh, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, Tristana, known for doing burst damage. But Akshan able to pick up 2 because of his ult, and he already has Kraken Slayer.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
Just like this, Tristana already has Kraken Slayer, but she's 0-3, so. And I mean, for FCGU, they just got a dragon. They just got 2 kills. It's honestly looking up for them. I mean, Florida Tech was also able to get 2 kills, but it does something. Hey, I mean, any form of improvement is improvement. Still top lane going on like an island up there, just farming simulator, you know. Both Kassadin and Malphite just getting as much money as possible. And here we actually see Gragas going. I did not make an emphasis on this, but here actually this game, instead of the previous games, we see Gragas going AP instead of a type of tank, or a little bit more of a tank. This way, we're gonna see Gragas being able to one-shot people, do a lot of damage. I'm guessing their plan is to try to get Akshan as quick as possible out of here, because he's the most of a problem. He's the only one on their team that has money, but he still doesn't have a shutdown. We see mid lane pushing as hard as possible in order to secure the objectives, to secure mid lane, to make jungle a little bit easier, have more pressure in the jungle. Here it looks like we're getting Rift, probably going to be used into mid lane. I think FGCU knows that they're getting Rift at this point, but there's not much they can do without initiating a fight that they think they pretty much lose. Well, at the end of the day, anything can happen now. And it looks like they initiate a fight mid lane in order to get some movement. But Hwei does.
Shut down.
And then here Tristana is using like the burst, like I said. Nocturne can't kill himself here because Tristana will get the kill if that's the case. And Tristana flashes in order to jump again. And then Tristana could jump again. Oh, almost. He already used flash. Oh. Oh! And then did Tristana have red buff? Tristana did have red buff. And here we see another turret being destroyed by Florida Tech. And another one being destroyed. which means only top side outer turret is still here.
Destroyed.
We see a 3K difference in the gold between Florida Tech and FGCU. When we look at how much the distribution of the gold, it looks like Tristana's up by 2,000 from the average, while Hui's up by 1,000. And here we see Cassidy trying his best to engage onto Malphite, but honestly still doesn't take damage, even though Malphite has no magic resist. Maybe Cassidy's waiting. Honestly, I think Cassidy's damage really comes in when he levels up his ult again, but he is level 11, so it is a level twice. I guess we wait until that Rada Aegis levels. He maybe gets Malignance. What did he get 2 games ago? Malignance. I forgot the item that he got before Malignance. Before he tried to build Malignance, I don't think he had enough gold to buy Malignance again. Here we see Florida Tech emitting as much pressure as possible because they know that drags up, and they know from the previous games that these objectives are important if they want to win the game. And there's the Ezreal ult trying to steal, but sadly they don't have any vision. Here we have everybody moving as a group in order to go top lane to see where should they go next? Where should they orient themselves next? They do have vision on Nocturne and know that he is trying to get red. Push up to that. Nocturne did smite the red in order to secure the red. And while Tristana is pushing top lane in order to get the next objective. And just in case somebody comes by, we know that we see that Gragas is here. Now that Akshan split pushing is going to be a problem. Currently, that is SGCU's only way of obtaining money if they try to split push, get an objective. But it looks like objective bounties aren't out yet, so sadly, can't really get much. But money is money. Anything that they can get is good. Oh, and it looks like Malphite's ult didn't hit, but that slow is massive from his E and his Q. Oh, and it looks like he stops. Honestly, I think he would have won that maybe because he has Frozen Heart and because he has armor. And he has the Mommy Cinder, which does burn around him. He might have won that. He might not have. I mean, Akshan does have Bork, does have Kraken Slayer. I think if he stacked it up, he might have lost that, but... Oh, sadly, just can't really do anything. I mean, that did use Cassidon's Splash, so that is a good thing from Florida Tech. They know Cassidon will not have that flash for a long time. And it's like the 4th of July. I mean, they have SGCU's top jungle totally lit up. I mean, there's nowhere they could go that is in. Oh, and here we have Tristana. Like I said, is the known burst ADC. I mean, there's really nothing you could have done. I mean, unless not walked up there. And here we see. I mean, we see Akshan versus Malphite again. Yeah. A lot of damage coming from Akshan there.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Florida Tech is really good at pushing these objectives and able to get the damage out there in order to you know, to get the objective and get money. We have almost a 5K difference in gold here from one team to the next. They're really really able to control. Akshan here being able to walk through all of the vision Florida Tech have because he's able to be invisible and without anybody to know that he's, you know, his exact location. And look, they're even pinging Mountain Drake. They know that they need to get as many objectives as possible because the first objective that FGCU gets means that they can start rolling, trying to roll, come back. Even though there's such a huge gold gap here in this game here, FGCU is looking for anything that they can get. Here we have Gragas taking blue buff, which blue buff now, in case you didn't know, both blue buff and red buff, once Baron spawns, they give that appropriate buff to everybody on the team, even though the killer gets the gold. But that is useful for everybody on the team to have blue buff, especially when you have a Hui. And I mean, Malphite also does need mana as well with the Arcane Comet. He's not going AP, but he is looking for that mana because blue buff also does give cooldown regeneration or cooldown reduction and the mana. So it is helpful for everybody on the team. Here we see Tristana going mid lane to try to start something because they know Dragon's up. Both FGCU needs something. Florida Tech knows that FGCU needs something, that they are desperate for anything that they can get. So let's see if they will start this team fight or if they're giving again. It looks like they're just giving because it's not worth it for everybody to die. And it looks like Florida Tech is looking for a fight, looking to kill as many people as possible, but FGCU is just backing up. There's Tristana with the flash. I don't think that was a max bomb, so she doesn't get the jump again. And Malphite with the double knockup. You see every ult coming out here. That miss. And here's the fight exactly what FGCU was looking for. Able to come back, able to play off the mistakes that Florida Tech had. Honestly, Fungus Dungus was not there. If Fungus Dungus was there, things would be looking differently. But Fungus Dungus gets a reset on his W every time he gets a kill here. It looks like he's not going for it. He doesn't know. But that was exactly what FGCU was looking for. And honestly, the mistiming or the misplay of the Gragas ult, only hitting one person, only knocking one person away from what you really wanted to hit him for, honestly was detrimental. But it's not over. Game's not over. There's still a 3K difference in gold, and Florida Tech still has more objectives overall. Now, Mountain Soul does give a shield if Florida Tech can secure this next dragon that's coming up. Mountain Soul will give a small shield, or it scales with AP, AD, and health, but it's not that large of a shield. But it would be useful for all the team fights to come if they can secure this. And you do have a Malphite which scales off of armor, so all of the armor from these mountain dragons are also helping him a lot. But it looks like that Cassidy now has a Max Lost Whisper and a Seraph's Embrace which means that next he's probably going for Malignance, and then once he gets Malignance, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I do not think Tristana will be able to just jump in and try to kill him like she has been this whole time. And I think Hui is also going to be in danger constantly. And it looks like Malphite hasn't had any type of MR, so having the lack of MR when you're going to have such a devastating foe that only does AP is going to be really bad, I think. Here we see FGCU just scoping the area, trying to look for any type misplay from Florida Tech. They have to play off of Florida Tech's misplays because they cannot just go for anything here. While Florida Tech is also trying to do the same thing. Well, they're trying to secure, you know, any objective that they can, because off of last game they know that these objectives are important and they cannot just give them. And I think Hui stole... No, he did not. It looks like there's a fight probably going to brew here for Rift Herald, even though Drag is about to be up in a minute. No, it looks like everybody backs off, and that was still a lot of damage. Even though Tristana couldn't really do much, that was still a lot of damage coming out from Tristana into the Akshan, forcing Akshan in the back, because he knows that both Hui and Tristana could assassinate him at any point. And like I said before, once they get this blue buff goes to everybody, which will be useful for these fights. And there's Cassidy with the Malignance. So like I said, this is where Cassidy really wakes up. Florida Tech is able to do this drag really fast, but they can see it. So Florida Tech got the drag, but FGCU looks like they just focused on getting Tristana out of the fight, which honestly was their way to win the fight. But the dragon is now, there is no more. Florida Tech does now have a soul. Florida Tech not really able to get anything out of that other than soul, of course, not able to get any kills. But the Tristana shutdown was massive, and that was 1,000 gold to Nocturne, which is really bad, because Nocturne is also able to assassinate Hui or Tristana at any moment, as long as he can see him on the map. It looks like here FGCU is looking to get Baron, because they know Tristana isn't there. And oh my god. And here we see, talk about playing for misplays. I mean, that Baron steal was amazing. And here's Tristana with the cleanup crew. Able to get out of there as quick as possible. And honestly, that Baron steal was the best thing Florida Tech could have done. Best thing Florida Tech could have had. Well, now they have empowered minions. And like here, turret's gone.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
Only lost one for that too. Only lost Gragas. What a crazy Baron steal. Maybe looking to get to an inhibitor here, but I mean, with Tristana, who is a turret destroyer, turret buster, is definitely possible. Are they pushing the end? No, they are not. Stealing blue side's red buff. I know, disabling them to get red buff for a couple minutes is really good because, like I said before, it affects the whole team. So the whole team cannot get red buff now. Here we see FGCU is trying to spread out again, trying to farm up, get as much money as possible, get as much items as possible, to try to maybe in the next team fight in order to try to get something out of the next team fight, in order to win the next team fight. Because now that they have Baron, they do not want Florida Tech to push with this Baron, because it is really devastating. It looks like everybody's trying to go bot side. You see what type of fight's happening bot side. The entire game is bot side right now.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Looks like they might be also wanting to get inhibitor. Try to go all the way to inhibitor maybe just a turret. It looks like they're also trying to go for inhibitor, maybe even in the game here. Malphite only hitting one up, but it looks like this Tristana, they enable Tristana to just walk around here. Tristana's not really being focused, but I guess Tristana doesn't really have to be focused. Both Way and Tristana are forces to be reckoned with. And it looks like with that, that flashback set from the from Av trying not to die. And it looks like that is the game. They're trying to get Ezreal in tower. But honestly, that Baron steal was wild. Being able to get that Baron and then from there snowballing bot side, because you know that mid side is gonna push in because they have empowered. They have a super minion. That was a good game from Florida Tech. That was a good game from FGCU. It was really fun. And we'll see you next time tomorrow with Overwatch. Yeah, I think Joey will be here too. So I hope everybody has a nice night. And see you then.